Hi, welcome back to My Mom Life. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Jordan, and today we're making classic French toast. Let's get started. Here are all of the ingredients that you need to make French toast. This is super easy and basic. I have 1 cup of milk. You can use any milk you want, 4 eggs, some vanilla flavoring, cinnamon. We're going to use a little bit of butter. We won't need all of that. Some white sugar, and some plain white bread. Now, I will have the measurements and everything in the description box for you. I'm going to start out by cracking my eggs into a dish. I use either a pie dish or this round, deeper dish that I like to use just so that it doesn't make quite as big of a mess as if I have a pie dish. Sometimes it will get a little full in my pie dish and it'll splash out and make a mess. So this way, in this bigger one, I have a little bit more room to whisk it around and not make such a mess. I'm going to add in the milk to my eggs, the vanilla extract, the sugar, and the cinnamon. If you aren't a fan of cinnamon, you can leave that out. But I just feel, in my opinion, that French toast needs cinnamon, so I always add it. Like I said, measurements will be written out for you in the description box below. I'm going to go ahead and whisk this up really well. You definitely want to take the time to whisk this up very well so that those eggs get completely mixed in with the milk and the cinnamon and sugar and all of that, because if you don't, the white and the yolk will still be separate and it'll just kind of make it, in my opinion, it makes it gross because the white cooks separately from the and in one of my pieces, you can actually see a little bit of the egg white. It's not a big deal, but I just like to take the time to make sure it's whisked really well. So I'm going to get that whisked up really good, and then I'm going to go over to my griddle. On my stovetop, I have a griddle in the middle, but you can do a frying pan, whatever pan you want to use, put it on medium heat and get it warmed up. This is where the butter comes into play, so I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter onto my griddle there and let it melt. So you can use different kinds of bread for French toast. I'm using super basic, cheap white bread, but if you want to make it really yummy, you could use some brioche bread. That's really good. Some thick cut bread is really good, and stale, like dry bread is really good to use for French toast because it soaks up all of that moisture from the eggs and milk, and it doesn't get too soggy. So you're going to see me dip them really quickly. You just want to give them a really quick coat because this white bread soaks it up so quick that it'll just fall apart on you if you leave it in there too long. Now I'm going to let it cook on the stovetop or on the griddle for a couple of minutes, and once it is golden brown, I will flip it over, and then I will add some more on there. Once these are done cooking, you're going to cook it on the other side for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to transfer them over to a cookie sheet while I cook up the other ones. This is really good to do a bulk batch of this and then freeze them and pull them out throughout the week for your kids or your family or yourself. Really awesome to freeze. So if you're into that, definitely think about batch cooking some French toast and freezing it because it does really well in the freezer. Now that I have a couple of pieces done, like I said, I'm going to pop them on a cookie sheet and keep going. I have my last piece of bread just sitting in there because I only had a little bit of that egg mixture left, and if you have just a little bit left, you can leave that piece of bread in there for a couple of minutes while your griddle is being used, and it will soak up the rest of it. And then you can even pour like a little bit, if there's a little bit left, on top, slowly on top of your last piece, and it will soak it up. So that's what I did there, and that's as easy as it gets. French toast is really easy to make, and it's yummy. It has protein with the eggs, but it has the yummy sweetness from the cinnamon and sugar, and topped with butter and syrup. I mean, can't get any better than that. So I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you subscribe and stick around, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys.